in the Tampa
You
Bay
would
area.
you wouldn't know though, really.
I haven't had it yet,
Ah,
but I will.
We'll have to
Yeah.
check it out once it opens.
All right, ABC 7 business commentator Richard Stern joins us now. And Richard, you're calling this a moral victory on Wall Street.
Well, let's put it this way. When you're down 280 points and you finish with a loss of less than 80 points, that's a victory of some kind. I'd call it a moral victory. Indeed, that's what I'm calling it. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was down by 280 points at 11 o'clock this morning. That a response to the fact that the North Korean summit is simply postponed, if not in fact gone. In that event, we'll have to see. But let's keep in mind, we're closing in on the end of May. We did have 11 up days out of 13. We are on track with 4 trading days left to have the best month since January. And I mentioned 4 trading days. Do remember, next Monday, being Memorial Day, all markets will be closed as well as banks. So keep that in mind. Now let's take a look at the numbers, and indeed they're a lot better than they were at 11 o'clock. There you see the Dow at 24,811.76, a loss of 75 points, exactly 0.3%. That on volume of 802 million shares. The NASDAQ, what in my business we call that flat, down 1.5 points, 0.02%. 7,424.43. That on volume of 1,950 million shares. The S&P right in the middle, down 0.2%, 5.5 points at 2,727.76. Best Buy, you know that company. Well, Best Buy unfortunately didn't live up to its name today. The stock fell 6.5% despite posting pretty good earnings. The reason, they refused to forecast what their earnings will look like for the balance of the year. They did say they had a slowdown in their online business. It did grow, but it grew by 12%. That compared to a growth of 22% in the same quarter the year before. Best Buy, by the way, has a 15% market share in electronics. A company by the name of Amazon.com has a 10% market share. So what they have to do is figure out how to increase their e-commerce business, because obviously that's the future. Brick and mortar, as we talk about all the time, seems to have some problems.
Right. Well, any news for us on Steinmart today?
Positive news. How do you like that? The
I'm so
stock
glad
has
to
been
hear that.
struggling, but I know you like to go there, right? Stock was up by more than 10% today.
Good.
Good news for a company based in Jacksonville.
All right. Thank you so much, Richard.
You're welcome.